What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to T3G. My name is Dalibor, and today we're going to talk about the most important part of everything. Creating, storytelling, life. We're talking about follow-through. Alright, so here we have 2 envelopes, which are in fact, I'm trying not to shout nothing, which are in fact my mother-in-law's taxes. The way it goes down on the 15th, long story short, we got them set up on the 15th. She doesn't have a printer. I printed them. I was gonna send them out. I'm like, yeah, I'll go take them out tomorrow. Didn't do that. Didn't do it again. Didn't do it again. Come, what was it, Tuesday, I was like, hey, I need these signed. So like, I'd forgotten about the fact that they need to be signed. So like, they need to be signed. So she signed them digitally. I printed them again, and I printed them, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna take them out. I went on Tuesday, got there at 5:02. I was so mad. They closed at 5. Yesterday, I saw them. I was in the car. I was like, I gotta do these. We went for lunch, came back, ate our dessert, forgot. Got distracted, played video games, etc., etc. So here we are, a week after they were filled out. I'm finally going to the post office to get this done. I have a problem with follow through. What I was doing downstairs was measuring and I still didn't do it. I gotta pull out my phone and order this thing. I was measuring the fluorescent lighting because the bulbs are going bad and I need to order new ones, and I was measuring them so I could order them. Got distracted again, literally, just proving my point. Got distracted, forgot to order them. I gotta put in this order on Amazon. Follow through is incredibly important. So I've actually been thinking about building something out where I could just hang the camera off the hatch and just have this, because this is like decent lighting, but I get a low top lighting here. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe facing the other way. Anyway, like I said, I have a problem with follow through. There's probably 5 or 6 projects around the house that I'm just like, I'm gonna do that at some point, right? I did put in the order for the Amazon, so I'm gonna have that coming like 2.5 weeks apparently, because, you know.
Bad stuff.
But I do have something that I ordered previously that I just never put in. This guy right here, it's a little Oaser? I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, it's like a little thing that straps to the back of the seats so I can get rid of this big ass box that's taking up space. So let's go ahead and do that. I didn't change the focus on that. I forgot to turn the autofocus on. Oh well, we'll speed through it. Hopefully it won't be that bad. This is what it looks like after everything is said and done. Nice little thing that attaches to all 3 seats. Well, all 3 headrests rather. It's got a little Velcro on the back, but I don't think the Velcro is going to do much with my seat covers. But I got everything I need. I got my tools in this one. This is going to be first aid primarily. Gloves are in this one. And then tarp, poncho, cables, and ties. Yeah, and then I shrunk down my collection of bags because, geez, I had too many. This is nice because now I can just put some stuff in here. You know what I mean? I got space now. I think that's in focus. I don't know how people do this manually. So I cleaned out the car, put the little tarp back up on top. I don't know, the privacy screen or whatever you want to call it. I vacuumed out the car, cleaned out the trash that had been building up in there. It was just one of those things that gets you to the next step, right? Car is clean, the inside of the car is clean. I can get into the car and not think about, oh man, I gotta clean up. And that's just littlest thing, right? The littlest thing. I've had this thing to go in the back for 3 months. Like, you gotta finish the job. That's the realest part of everything, regardless of if it's cleaning your car or if it's getting a project done. As far as production and projects, where this goes back to is that wedding, right? I've let other things weigh me down. So every time I go to edit, I'm like, I don't have the right footage and this and that. I've let other things distract me away from getting that done. But the same goes for larger projects, right? We've had the Honest Tech support for 2 years now, right? There was a lot of talk about getting it done last year, and then it was a matter of securing the venue, and then we kind of did. The venue we did secure, which the owner was like, yeah, let's do it. Just let me know and I'll come unlock it for you guys so you can do whatever you need to do. And then when I actually kind of went there to see the space and plan out the shots, I'm sitting there and I'm like, there's not enough place It's a very small office. There's no hallway action, at which point that really kills one of what I feel is one of the driving elements of the story, and I can't shoot there. So then it was distract, you know, everything kind of falling by the wayside again. Me trying to think, well, how do I, you know, can I shoot part at this office where we do have that secured and find some other place? Can we hodgepodge it together by shooting elsewhere? And it's just been a matter of putting that online. But reality is you got to do it, right? I can talk about this all day long, but you have to actually get the job done. It doesn't matter what the project is, right? It could be a small thing, it could be a large thing. I mean, this cleaning out the car thing, very small, minute in terms of everything, right? I told my wife weeks ago, maybe even months ago at this point, that I was gonna clean the windows in the front of the house. Haven't done that. I've found other things to distract me. I don't want to stand outside. I don't want to clean the windows. Like, there's just things that I just, like, it's not my thing. But I said I was going to do it. Follow through, right? Commitments. So then that's going to be the plan for tomorrow. Right now she's teaching a class of Zumba, so I don't want to start messing around out front and the dogs might freak out. But even then, like, I could have also done all that sooner, right? I could have done all that earlier. I have a couple things that I bought at Target that I Flip Life, you know, I have that Flip Life pull sometimes, and I'm like, man, these are going for 50 online. They're 30 bucks a pop here. Yeah, it's not a huge profit, but it's a profit. But I took photos. I was gonna do it on my phone. I did start doing it, and then I was like, oh, I don't know how to add the barcode through the phone app. And then I was like, I got distracted on the computer and I just never did it. So now it's like they're sitting there. I've got them right next to me so that I can get that constant reminder. A lack of follow through is just gonna make everything down the line harder and more complicated. Because now it's like, all right, you know, tomorrow I'm gonna do this stuff in front of the house. There's also a bush that needs cutting, so I'm gonna do that as well. And it's like, that stuff may take an hour, maybe more, but what if I end up sleeping in and then I'm getting up and I'm groggy, and then I'm like, it's 12:30, it's super hot, I don't want to go outside, and then that just gets pushed back, and then I don't want to do it, right? There is that possibility. Obviously, I'm going to do my best to not have that happen. I'm going to make sure I go to sleep on time, etc. But a job that is easy now does not always stay easy. Things can stack up to the point where it becomes more complicated, you know? I've got some old ass paint that came with the house when we bought it, so we've had it for 4 years. I don't even know how old it is beyond that. I got to get rid of it. We need to buy cat litter so we could make it not liquid and not, you know, paint, I guess, and so we can throw it away. But it's like, it's now more complicated because now there's stuff on top of it, there's stuff in front of it, so, you know, I got to move stuff around just to get to it. So it's already a more complicated job than it would have been a year ago when I put it there. Same with your projects. Let's say you have a project to edit, right? What if, God forbid, something happens to my computer and the drive that it's on dies? Game over, right? I mean, thankfully, I've, of course, made duplicates and triplicates copies, but if the computer dies, now I have to use a different computer that isn't as strong. You know, there's gonna be more complication, more difficulty than something that could have been done faster and easier on the computer that was working great. This really is as much a lesson to everybody out there as it is for myself. I, like I said earlier, have a problem with follow through. You know, I make commitments and then I'm like, you know, there's something came up, this other thing, this thing. There's always something that could come up. There's always something that gives you an excuse, and we've talked about this. You could excuse yourself out of pretty much anything, but you shouldn't. Now, we talked about it before. You don't beat yourself up over it, right? If you decide I'm gonna play video games and you don't get it done, i.e. Tuesday, right? I was playing video games, I'm like 10 o'clock, I'm like, all right, let me get this edit done. I start editing, I get it done. It was whatever, 12:30, almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I go to upload, 11%, internet cuts out. Had I done it earlier, that wouldn't have been an issue. To be fair, that one's FedEx, so that's all of our fault because we be ordering stuff. The point is, when you set a project, when you set a thing to do, whether it's something very, very small or something large like a wedding video edit, right? That's gonna be hours upon hours of editing. You gotta do it, you gotta do it. And the sooner you do it, the better it's gonna be, because especially in video production, when you're shooting, you have ideas, right? You have, oh, I'm gonna cut this way, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this transition. When you go back and you're looking at it like, why did I just looks like I just threw the camera away. Like, what was I doing there? You might not have that same mindset if you're looking at it 2 weeks, 6 months, a year down the line. I have a couple videos that I just never edited, that I never put out, mostly car show stuff, that I'm looking at it and I'm like, why the hell did I film that way? I'm sure I had an idea then when I was filming it, because I've gone back and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just like do an edit just to kind of stay fresh, right? And then I look at it and I'm like, how am I supposed to edit this? Because what was I doing here? Like, what was the point of this shot? And it just, you know, I remember certain things that I did that I shot for and never edited. Because again, oh, a week, 2 weeks later, I didn't think to remember that same thing. I didn't remember that same idea, right? So I just edited it like a normal cut, maybe transition here and there, but I had an idea where it was like, oh, it was gonna be this thing, and it was gonna be zoom ins on these logos and stuff like that. Like I had an idea of how it was gonna go, but then the way I import it, the way the order it's in, stuff like that, it's not the order that I was thinking in. And you know, it's 3-4 weeks later, 5 weeks later, and I don't know what that's like anymore. I don't know what that's supposed to be. So now I'm just seeing like, oh, okay, this is a BMW, boom, which is like normal cut stuff. And I had an idea of doing like a really cool opening or something like that. And then after I'm uploading, I'm like, oh yeah, I was gonna do, well, oh well, next time, right? And yeah, you might get to it next time, you might do it next time, or you end up not doing it and you end up forgetting the idea entirely. So then next time you're at a car show or a wedding or whatever, you're just shooting normal. You're just doing the same kind of traditional stuff, as opposed to you had this really cool idea and then now you don't. You don't want to miss your own idea and getting on that train. Everybody, when Uber came out, talked about, I had this idea 4 years ago. Yeah, but you didn't do it. Right? There was no follow through on that idea. Follow through is what gets things done, and it's the only thing you have control over that can change your life. So what I'm saying is, whatever that project is on your desktop in a folder, on your desk in a notebook, whatever it is, get to it. I'll see you guys in the next one.